Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we're going to talk about CBD. Now, CBD has been crucial for me in the last year to 2 years. I've been using Charlotte's Web products to help me sleep, focus, and recover way better than I ever was before. And at over 40 years old, this is huge for me maintaining that world-class strength. So whether you're trying to get stronger or just be healthier, go to Charlotte's Web and use our discount code WINNINGSTRENGTH for 15% off to help you get better at whatever you're trying to do. Hey, this is Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we're going to talk about structural balance and why it's so important. Before we get started, make sure you guys are on Patreon or on Train Heroic to see workouts and to make sure that this is not a problem in your training. So let's get to it. Structural balance, in my opinion, is the balance between agonist and antagonist muscles. So, for instance, if we're doing the bench press, then the triceps, the pecs, and the shoulders are going to be the agonist muscles, and the antagonist muscles are going to be the lats, some stabilizers in the shoulder, forearms, etc. The point is that structural balance is super important for a handful of reasons, but today we're going to name three that I think are the most important and why your training should probably be smarter than it is. One, neural inhibition. So neural inhibition can either be cognitive or beyond cognitive, right? And that means that sometimes your body is smarter than you, telling you when to stop, not even allowing you to either hit PRs or get injured. How does it do this? Well, you have afferent and efferent motor patterns. These afferent and efferent motor patterns, you have an afferent motor pattern is a motor pattern in which if I tell my bicep to function, the brain tells the bicep to work. The efferent motor pattern is the motor pattern where the bicep is sending signals back to the brain, both in spatial awareness, tension, all of these other things to not only protect itself, but also move mechanically efficient. Now, when your training is not structurally balanced, these afferent motor patterns, or governors as we like to call them, end up shutting you down before you get injured. Now, as you train, these governors slowly dissipate and turn off, and how fast they turn off, or the limiting factors of your neural psyche, how they turn off is by having structural balance. Meaning that if say I just work my pecs to bench press, which a lot of people do, and then they neglect their back work, which you see a lot of champions not do, the back will control how strong or how powerful the pec can fire based on structural integrity of the shoulder joint. Same holds true with internal-external rotators. So Charles Poliquin, my old mentor and one of my best friends, would talk a lot about external rotators in the bench press. He would say somewhere along the lines that if you can't, say you can bench press narrow grip 250 pounds, you should be able to do external-internal rotators with somewhere around 20 to 30 pound dumbbells. And what he found with a lot of his athletes that was not possible, meaning the internal-external rotator system was not developed well enough to allow bench press to increase. I remember him strongly suggesting and talking about one of the athletes he trained that won a gold medal in the shot put. He told me that once he got his internal and external rotators super strong, his incline bench went from 500 to 585 in one Olympic training cycle, and then he broke the world record again in the shot put. Point is, what was the limiting factor? The reason is that Charles wasn't just having him incline press in a linear progression fashion. He was actually training his weaknesses in order to shut down the inhibiting factors that are causing you to not make progress. So structural balance both on the agonist and antagonist muscle groups helps prohibit neural inhibition and shuts off governors. The second thing it does is posture is usually if you're working on structural balance. So if you notice in the winning warm-ups, we do two posterior movements, right? So we do a tricep and a lat, right, in the winning warm-up. That's going to help increase and enhance posture and technique. But posture reflects power. And what that means is that a lot of people that can create a ton of power, whether it be jumping ability, squatting ability, deadlifting ability, most of them have very, very good technical posture. And that is because technical posture allows you to lift heavier weights. If you have, say, scoliosis in your spine, or you have some kind of an imbalance in your posture, the governors or those neural inhibitors are going to kick in way faster due to the protective mechanism. So remember that your training should always be based on correcting, enhancing, and/or maintaining your posture. Okay, and that is structural balance as well. The third thing is that mileage can dictate your career in strength training. What does this mean? This means that if you're training with a less than optimal training cycle, most linear periodizations, if you look at Borishiko programs, things of that nature, they're too specific for far too long with too specific a volume, what you'll find is that they will create a ton of structural imbalances based on the fact that you're expecting the core lift to fix your weaknesses. And we all know that over time that that's really not the case. The case is that we need to figure out how to get super strong with reducing mileage. The only way to do that is to attack your training with structural balance, posture, and neural inhibition in mind. If you follow these three things, you're going to start to understand why we train the way we train at winningstrength.com and why some of these factors are so crucial to you not only getting better, but doing it safer. So if you guys can, if you're on a budget, go on winningstrength.com and get a manual and start reading and educating yourself. And if you're really, really into this and passionate like we are, join online coaching where we can show you the ins and outs of this and how to decide how you develop your program based on structural balance. Talk to you guys later.